Hello, and welcome to this complete Week 4 NFL prediction video, brought to you by the team at NFL Direct. Week 4 kicks off Thursday night with the Dallas Cowboys visiting their division rival, the New York Giants. This is a matchup of two teams whose early season performances leave a lot to be desired. Despite their rough 1-2 start, the line still heavily favors Dallas over Daniel Jones and the hometown Giants. Malik Nabers has been electrifying for the Giants, and Dallas's non-existent run defense could lead to a big day for Devin Singletary. However, after being embarrassed at home in weeks 2 and 3, we believe a game against the Giants could be exactly what Dak Prescott needs to get the Cowboys back on track. Prescott hasn't lost to the Giants since his rookie season in 2016. We're taking the over on this game, projecting a big 34-13 Cowboys victory. Sunday's schedule kicks off with the New Orleans Saints traveling to Atlanta, where Kirk Cousins and the Falcons are still looking for their first home victory of the season. After a blistering hot offensive start in the first 2 weeks of the season, Week 3 saw the Saints' offense get bottled up. After seeing the Saints' struggles in Week 3, odds makers have the Falcons sitting as 2.5-point favorites with the over-under set at 42.5. Atlanta has the 6th worst run defense in the league, so Alvin Kamara has an opportunity to shine. On the other side of the field, New Orleans brings the league's 8th worst pass defense to the game, so the Falcons may lean heavily on Kirk Cousins and all their weapons in the passing game. We're ultimately placing our faith in Cousins and the Falcons' offensive weapons, taking the under with the Falcons covering the spread in a 23-17 victory. Next up, we have the Chicago Bears hosting the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams roster has been absolutely decimated by injuries, and the Bears defense has been feeling the weight of having to carry a team as their rookie quarterback adjusts to the NFL game. The over-under on this game is sitting at 41.5, with Chicago currently listed as a 3-point favorite. If Matthew Stafford were going to have his weapons in this game, we would probably be taking Los Angeles, but 11 guys on injured reserve and multiple players ruled out makes it difficult to take the Rams in this matchup. We're going with the under, projecting the Bears to win with a final score of 20-16. The next game on the schedule has the undefeated Minnesota Vikings heading to Green Bay to face the Packers, who are currently sitting at 2-1. Odds makers have the Packers listed as a 2.5-point favorite with the over-under sitting at 43.5. Many people had high expectations for Green Bay, but most were surprised when they rattled off back-to-back wins with Malik Willis filling in for an injured Jordan Love. For Minnesota, Sam Darnold has made the most of his opportunity, reminding people of why he was once the 3rd overall pick in the 2018 draft. While the Packers' resilience has impressed us, Love's continued absence has us taking the Vikings in this matchup. We're taking the under, projecting the Vikings to cover the spread in a 23-17 victory. Next, we have Justin Fields and the undefeated Steelers going on the road to face the Indianapolis Colts, who find themselves currently sitting at 1-2. Despite being undefeated, the Steelers are only 1.5-point favorites, with the over-under set at 40.5. With the league's top-rated defense and Justin Fields avoiding most of the mistakes that plagued his time in Chicago, the Steelers have found a formula for success that could carry them far. For Indianapolis, Anthony Richardson is an exciting young prospect, but he is still learning and has been mistake-prone, having already thrown 6 interceptions this season. We expect Pittsburgh's defense to overwhelm the young quarterback, allowing the Steelers to easily cover the spread with a 20-13 victory. The next game on the schedule has the 1-2 Denver Broncos following up their surprising victory over Tampa Bay, with a visit to the New York Jets, whose record is currently 2-1. The line on this game has the over-under at 38.5, with the Jets currently favored by 7.5 points. The Broncos' defense is ranked in the top 10 of the league, but their offense finds itself at the opposite end of the spectrum, ranking 23rd in both yards and points per game. We don't expect to see Denver coming away with a victory here. We're taking the over, projecting Aaron Rodgers and the Jets to cover the spread in a 27-13 victory. The next game on the schedule has the Tampa Bay Buccaneers hosting Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are coming off a strong defensive showing against the Saints, while Tampa Bay was upset by Denver in Week 3. Odds makers have the over-under at 44.5. with the Eagles listed as a 2.5-point favorite. If Philadelphia's roster was at full health, we would be betting on the Eagles, but they currently have 3 of their starting offensive linemen and their top 2 wide receivers listed as questionable. When you combine that with the fact that Tampa Bay is looking to bounce back after an embarrassing home loss to Denver, our projection has the Buccaneers picking up a 23-20 victory. Next we have the Cincinnati Bengals going on the road to face the Carolina Panthers. Even though they have yet to win a game, the Bengals still find themselves a 4.5-point favorite over the Panthers, who are coming off their first victory of the season. Unsurprisingly, the over-under for this game is tied for the second highest of the week at 46.5. Neither team's defense has played very well this season, with the Bengals allowing over 26 points per game, and the Panthers allowing over 31 points per game. Joe Burrow has played extremely well this season, completing over 70% of his passes, with 5 touchdowns and no turnovers. We believe the Bengals will finally make it into the win column. We're taking the over, having the Bengals easily cover the spread in a 30-20 victory. The next game on the schedule has the 0-3 Jaguars going to Houston to face C.J. Stroud and the Texans, whose record is 2-1. The over-under currently sits at 45.5, with the Jaguars being a 6.5-point underdog. This season hasn't had a pretty start for Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars, who have been outscored 85-40 in the first 3 games of the season. We believe C.J. Stroud and the Texans will bounce back from last week's loss to the Minnesota Vikings. We are taking the under, with our projection having Houston easily cover the spread in a 27-13 victory. If you're enjoying the video, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing so that you don't miss future content from NFL Direct. The next game in the schedule has the Washington Commanders traveling to Arizona to face the Cardinals. The Cardinals are the favorite here, giving up 3.5 points on the spread. This game could very well end up being a shootout, with the highest over-under of the week at 50.5. The Cardinals' 1-2 record doesn't show how well they have played this season. Their lone victory was a blowout of the Rams, and they have 1-score losses against 2 of the better teams in the league, Buffalo and Detroit. We are buying into this being a high-scoring affair, taking the over and projecting the Cardinals to cover the spread in a 31-27 victory. Next, we have the San Francisco 49ers hosting the New England Patriots. Both teams may have 1-2 records, but that's where the similarities end. For the Patriots, 1-2 feels like a pleasant surprise. For the 49ers, it has more of a how the hell did this happen vibe. This difference in talent and expectations is clearly demonstrated in the line oddsmakers have set, with the over-under at 40.5 and the 49ers giving up 10 on the spread. Everything about this game indicates it should be a one-sided affair. New England has to make a coast-to-coast trip to face an opponent with superior talent who is upset because they feel like they have dropped the ball at the start of the season. We are taking the under, with the 49ers getting back on track and barely covering the spread in a 24-13 victory. Next up, we have the Las Vegas Raiders hosting the Cleveland Browns. Both teams are currently 1-2, and it almost feels wrong that one of them will improve to a 500 record after this game. Who knows, maybe they will tie so that they both still have losing records. The line on this game has the over-under set at 36.5, with the Raiders giving up 2 points on the spread. With both teams having more talent on the defensive side of the ball, we are going with the under on this one, projecting the Raiders to cover the spread with a 19-16 victory. Our next matchup has the Kansas City Chiefs visiting the Los Angeles Chargers. The line on this game has the over-under set at 39.5, with the Chiefs giving up 7 points on the spread. We know the Chargers' defense looks good after only giving up 33 points so far, but they have also faced Gardner Minshew, Bryce Young, and Justin Fields as the opposing quarterbacks. We believe it will go differently against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. We are sticking with the under, taking the Chiefs to cover the spread in a 23-13 victory. Next, we have what may be the game of the week, with Lamar Jackson's Baltimore Ravens hosting Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Even though Buffalo is coming in undefeated, oddsmakers have set the over-under at 46.5 with the Ravens as a 2.5-point favorite. Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry have been outstanding, so it's understandable to expect the Ravens to get back to 500. However, Josh Allen has also been playing at an MVP level, So we believe this game could ultimately come down to the defenses, and Baltimore's defense has not been very impressive this season. This has us taking the over, projecting Buffalo to win a close game 27-23. Moving on to Monday Night Football, the first game has the Tennessee Titans visiting the Miami Dolphins. Even though it isn't clear who will even be the starting quarterback for Miami, oddsmakers have Miami giving up 1 point on the spread, with the over-under set at 36.5. This game almost feels like a toss-up to us. Miami has Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, but it seems like whoever steps under center for the Dolphins is almost guaranteed to end up on the injury report. On the other hand, the Titans have a healthy starting quarterback who seems determined to give games away. Still, we are going with the under on this one and projecting the Titans to upset Miami with a 20-16 victory. Finally, we wrap up the Week 4 schedule with the Detroit Lions hosting the Seattle Seahawks. This game is a battle between what appears to be two of the best teams in the NFC. The line has the over-under set at 46.5, with the Lions giving up 3.5 points on the spread. The Seahawks are coming in undefeated, but Detroit is clearly better than any of the teams they have faced in the first 3 weeks. It will be interesting to see how Seattle stacks up against the Lions. Without a true measuring stick game to go off of for Seattle, we are sticking with the Lions in this one. We are taking the over, with the Lions winning by a score of 27-23.